Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the one and only, our brother, Prince.
Black is beautiful. I don't think y'all heard me. I said black is beautiful. I want y'all to take a look at this. Pass it around. I want everybody to take a look at that. A good look at that. Pass it around. Brother Malik brought that picture to my attention a little while ago. I thought it was apropos as it pertains to what I want to talk about this evening. I want everybody to take a good look at that picture, then we can begin. You know, sometimes I feel out of pocket. I refer to Black American males as boys, as do they. They have made it so that we are dependent upon them. And those few black men who are trying to help their brothers become self-sufficient and self-reliant and help provide for their communities without the aid of others, they were assassinated. History has shown us and proven to us time and time again that in order to be a black man in America, you have to be willing to die. It is a shame that we have become complacent in the role of being a boy. And some of our brothers are just as comfortable as switching like a girl. I mean, their pants are hanging off of their butts. They're wearing 2 earrings. They're wearing clogs. They're wearing dresses, wigs, lipstick, pink clothing. I mean, I look at that picture, man, and y'all can keep passing it around. I want y'all to get a good look at that. I want y'all to get a good look at that. I mean, the thing that bothered me the most was not the fact that those little black boys did not ask her or offer her their seat or even demand that she take their seat. And not the fact that most of them were pretending to be asleep. It was the fact that, and if you look at her face, you'll see she's used to it. She's used to it. She's saying, this is what they do as black boys. Yo, quiet. This is how our women are looking at us and think what they think about us. This is how they look at you, your women, not us in here, not y'all men. Because I'm raising up men in here. I'm talking to men in here. I'm talking about out there in that world. That sick, brainwashed world. That's how they like to see us, sleep. Just like them boys in that picture. And when you're asleep next to your woman, that's exactly how she's looking at you. No protection. No manhood. Do as they say. It's been like that for over 400 years. Our women feeling unprotected. want protection, they go to them. That's sad. She looks like she's tired, had a long day, but she's used to it. She's used to it. She's used to the selfishness of the black boy, the childishness of the black boy, being used by the black boy. That picture is saying, she's saying that I ride this bus, this train, with these old little boys about 5 or 6 times a week. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Mexican, Chinese, Mexican, Japanese, Korean, Indian, Latino, you name it. I guarantee you any one of them would have stood up for that woman and gave her their seat. They might have gotten up for her. You know, once I crossed that point, I thought a little deeper. I said, you know what? If that was a white woman, would one of them offered her their seat? That's for another time. You have to wonder, did any of them grow up with a father? I don't ever remember a time where I rode the bus with my father. There is so many things and teaching moments that we miss out on when a father is not around. A real father. A real father. And that's why I teach to you guys so fervently. Because as a man of God, you need to be around your children. Those boys of yours needs to see how a man of God moves in every situation. And so does your daughters. You want her attracted to a man of God, not some lame mutt little boy. My mama used to have to tell me as a little boy, boy, get up and let that old lady sit down. What's wrong with you? Be a gentleman. And I'd have to get up, give her my seat. I'm going to share a little story with y'all. I was a little boy. I think I was about 7 years old. And I'd take the bus. Bus would come right in front of my elementary school. And I'd take the bus, then I'd get a transfer and take the trolley. My mama, she had a luncheonette, and I'd go there after school. And I'd sit up front with Victor. Victor was my little classmate, little short little guy, little teeny little guy. And we'd sit in front of the bus. He'd get the seat right, if he could. He'd get the seat right behind the bus driver. And I'd sit across from him if I could, as close as I could, because I liked to see him pretend he was driving the bus. And I know I'm digressing. I'm going to digress for this point, because it is a point. Proverbs 18:21 says that there is power in the tongue. And I remember him every day. He would sit behind the bus driver. He would turn the wheel, pretend to be turning the wheel. Back then, on the buses, they had the great big steering wheel on the bus. I don't know if they have one anymore. I haven't been on 7 years. But they had the great big steering wheel. He would pretend like he was turning, and he'd call out every call, 56 and mark it, coming up 56 in Walnut, coming up 56 in Arch Street. And, I got a kick out of it, just watching him and, looking at him. I remember one day, an older lady, black lady, of course, she was standing in front of me. And I'm watching him and just getting a kick out of him. And I hear this lady mumbling. And you know what? Before I get to that part, Victor did this every day. And he swore up and down he was going to be a bus driver one day. He knew what he wanted to be. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to be. And long story short, about 30 years later, I quit the train or the L for some reason. Probably I didn't want to drive all the way downtown and do what I had to do. And I'm walking through the terminal, and there he is. Keys just a dangling, except his uniform on. And Hannah grew, he grew, got tall. It was a little old thing. Hannah grew tall. And he looked like just as professional as could be at a supervisory position. He was in a supervisory position now. And all I could do is just look and marvel. And I just kept moving, but when I got to my the platform or whatever, I could still see him, and I just looked in amazement because he had spoke this into existence. This power in the tongue and vision. He saw himself being a bus driver. He knew it. And I'm sure he superseded what he expected out of it because he only wanted to be a bus driver. And here he is now in the supervisory position and handling it. And so I was amazed at that. But I digress. I know I always do. But one day, this older lady comes on. And she's standing over me, and I hear her mumbling. And I'm thinking she's talking to somebody. And eventually I look over, and there's nobody there. She's mumbling. And I said, let me look up and see who she's talking to. And I look up, and we lock eyes. And she's going on with these little boys, and I don't know who's raising them these days. Watching an old lady stand, and they're sitting, all of them, or something to that effect. And I instantly heard my mom in my ear, get up and get that lady your seat. So I jumped up, and I said, here, ma'am, I apologize, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking, my mind would have had a fit. You can have my seat. And me and that lady eventually we got close. This was every time she got on the bus, she usually got on a few stops after me, and I would try to I would look for her, to give her my seat. Or any lady. If she wasn't, or, I'd give it to any lady. Because that was the difference between being a boy, a male, and being a female. Back in my day, it was big that you differentiate female and male. This generation is totally different. And after a while, my friends would do it too. I told them all, you need to, hey, listen, there's a difference between male and female. Males get up. You want to be a man one day, right? We get up. And we give the weaker vessel our seat. Peter says that the woman is the weaker vessel. We need to act like it. After a while, I'd see my little buddies, they would give a woman, young or old, their seat. And then they look over to get my approval. I see you, man. You know. But we did things differently back in my day. In my generation. We did things differently. We wouldn't have dared wore 2 earrings. We wouldn't have dared wore 2 earrings. We wouldn't have dared wore clogs. We wouldn't have dared wore pink. Our pants below our butt. We wouldn't have did it. We wouldn't have dared wore t-shirts 5X and 6X. 5 sizes bigger than what we are. No, we look for the smallest t-shirt in the drawer. We wanted you to see our muscles because we were males. Because we were males wanting to be men. We didn't hide our stomach. We used to cut it. They used to call it a dickie. We used to cut it so you could see our six-pack. See that we weren't lazy. We was out working out, getting right. Everybody had a set of weights in the house. Not a Game Boy, not an Atari, not all this place. We didn't have that, all these electronics. We had weights, footballs, and basketballs, and bats, and boxing gloves. You know, they have celebrity athletes now that they get to wear all of that stuff. Make your kids, your boys, their heroes. The job is to help sell this femininity to your sons. Your fathers, your parents need to wake up. You know, there's one comment on that was on that posting, and it said, "Trust me, they're not asleep." And it had some the laughing emojis with the crying, laughing to the crying emojis. You know, at first thought I'm thinking that's probably some young chick, black chick, and they expect this from our black boys. She's not bothered by it, and in fact, she's finding it funny. And then something told me, you know what? You're assuming. You go back and you go check and see that it's a female. And I'm glad I did, because I went back and I saw that it was a male, a grown male, grown boy, and just the laughing emojis was something that really bothered me. Because as black males, we ought to be extremely bothered by that picture. Not a human body. We all should be bothered by that picture. We all should have empathy for that black woman and relate to what she's feeling.
mercy, you know, calling a mercy, a